Hotepu gatekeepers and our allies. This is His Majesty King Ra Smubafagbeme, the world's first openly African gay king. And the job of a king is to nourish and protect his people. And with this video, I intend to nourish and protect your highest ancestry, your nobility of bloodlines. It is key to understand that every person has in them good and bad DNA traits from their ancestors. Habits and diseases and disorders can transfer through the generations, down the family tree through your genes, as well as good things and good habits and good characteristics. And so, I will describe to you a basic ritual from ancient Egypt, truly ancient ritual from the Nile Valley, but the key by the ritual is the timing of it, when it is to be done. And that was given to me by the gay ancestors of my royal line. And they guided me in the decoding of the Kemetic calendar, which is an oracle. The Kemetic calendar is unlike anything you've ever seen in terms of calendars. Both its mathematical beauty and precision, as well as its predictive powers, are extraordinary. So, rituals were very carefully timed in Kemet because you don't do rituals without working with the flux of the stars, the flux of life force in nature. So, we see here on this side an image of Osar, the mummiform god with the white crown here, called the hedge crown of the white crown. And he represents your good DNA. He represents the best in your lineage, the best in your bloodlines. In other words, your divinity through your ancestry. Those of your people who did meditations, who were righteous, who were enlightened, who developed their higher spiritual bodies. So we have to call those forces to wake up, because as you see here, they can be sleepy. So it says here that on this date, the 12th to the 21st days of Kohoyak. Kohoyak is what the Greeks call the month that we're in right now, which happens to be the month called Kaher Kaheb. Kaher Kaheb. Today being October 28th, 2016, but in the Kemetic calendar, today would be the 13th day of Kaher Kaheb, or the 13th day of Kohoyak. So we see here a ritual described to be done during the 12th to the 21st of this time. So for the next week and change, where October 27th was the 12th day of Kaher Kaheb Kohoyak, today's day 13, and you count until you reach 21. Okay? So it says here, the second section of the inscription deals with the making of the figure of Khenti Amenti, which is Osar, and is of peculiar interest. At Mendes, a town closely connected with Busiris and the cult of Osar, or the teachings of Osiris, you take 1 hin or measure of wheat and 3 measure of paste. You place them in a large stone trough resting on 4 legs, and each day from the 12th to 21st of Kohoyak, 3 parts of a measure of water were poured from a gold goblet into the trough. On the 21st day, the contents of the trough were taken out, and a measure of incense having been added to it, the whole was kneaded into the 2 halves of gold mold for making the figures of Khenti Amenti wearing the white crown. Here, the contents of the molds were then taken out and tied together with 4 papyri bands and dried in the sun. At the 8th hour of day 22 of the month, the figure and figures of the gods and many lamps were placed in boats and taken by water to the tomb of the god. And there the figure of Khenti Amenti was covered with a cloth and afterwards buried. Now, let's see. If we add the date, today's is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So until about the 6th of November, this goes up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. So it's from now until the 6th of November that you do this ritual. Okay? So, what's happening is by doing this, you're going to awaken the ancestors here in this top sphere of the tree of ancestral life. Okay? This is the Park Avenue, the Rodeo Drive, the Saks Fifth Avenue of the spirit world. This is the penthouse here. And this is where we're all trying to get to, or maybe coming from. But you do have ancestors, presumably from most ancient of Africa, who were involved in the initiation sciences, who live here. But you have to wake them up to activate their flux coming through this set of wires down into other parts of your life. So what you do is, if you don't have all these ingredients as written, that's not key. What's key is do the best you can. Do your level best. So you want to get some wheat, right? Some wheat. And you want to get some paste. Let's make it a kind of flour paste. You're going to put it in a large stone bowl, a ceramic bowl, or if you have those kind of stone mortar pestle bowls, that would be good. And it's resting on 4 legs. Well, if you don't have 4 legs, you can put 4 little stones under the bowl or something. And from each day, from the 21st to 12th, 21st, which is between now and the 6th of November, you take here 3 parts of water or a measure of water, and you're going to add it to the bowl or the trough, as they say here. And what you're going to do is you're going to, on the 21st day, you're going to take the paste and the wheat. You're going to add incense. I recommend you add incense of myrrh. You add myrrh incense. Okay, you mix it in, and you're going to knead it into 2 halves. Okay, and you're going to make a figure of this form as best you can. You may not be a great artist or anything, doesn't matter. Just make a basic recognizable form like this one. Okay, and you're going to make 2 figures. Okay, you then take the contents of the molds out. You take the molds out, you tie them together with 4 papyrus bands. If you can't get papyrus bands, get white cloth strips. If you can, cotton best. Dry them in the sun, and then on the 7th of November, at the 8th hour from sunrise, just Google sunrise for your town, for your city, find out when that hour was, and then go 8 hours after that. Okay, and then you take the god out, and you take a little candle right with you, and you place the god in some water. If you have a little lake near you or a water body near you, that's great. If not, get a bowl of water and put him in there. Okay, that water is to give him spiritual energy. And then you take the figure of Kemetic, and you cover him with white cloth, and you bury him. Okay, you bury the 2 gods. Okay, we're going to do 2 here because we're going to have 1 for the past, 1 for the present. Okay, and then you pray over that buried spot of land, that plot of land, because the dead are buried beneath the ground. Yes, and you pray for your good DNA to wake up, to come to life, to come through you, that the pure light of the good DNA in your ancestry, of your family tree, that all those high priests and priestesses and enlightened beings from your family line start pouring their light through you, through your DNA, through your chromosomes, which is Osar, to begin to wash away any inherited diseases you may have a predisposition to, any bad habits, wash away all of your negative DNA from your bloodlines, because we absorb so much from our kin. So we have to start asking and awakening the higher light of our ancestors to do their job, to come forth. And so it is done. And so I tell all of the gay listeners out there to do this ritual absolutely. I do it on behalf of all of you, particularly my gay community. There were many gay masters in Kemet and all through Africa, and they have been truly put to sleep, and I won't tolerate it. So they are awakening. We're entering the age of Hapi, Aquarius, which is shown as an androgynous male. Hapi, the Nile god, has breasts and a pregnant belly. He's androgynous, clearly. And I'm certain that gay men were much more apt to really identify with that kind of figure than hetero men. It'd be harder for them. It's not quite their vibe. They're more the Heru energies. And so, let's wake up our great gatekeeper gay ancestors from Africa. Let's bring them back. Let them flood through our family DNA, our family tree, and our tree of life, back to our community, that we may have incarnating a wave of gay masters coming back to bring order to the gay community, to bring ma'at to the gay community, and to open the gates again for the planet, because we are the gatekeepers, and without us, chaos must ensue. So, do the best you can with the right. It's more about what you can do level best, and your intent to wake up the slumbering goodness in your chromosomes, that goodness may shut off the negative diseases, problems, bad habits, addictions, character flaws that come from your mother and your father and your mother's mother and father's father, and so on and so forth. Okay? May the gay ancestors resurrect and their light flood my kingdom, my community, with good DNA of the masters who are the gatekeepers of Kemet. And may all ancestors awaken in divinity. Dwawend Hotepu.